Hello, my name is Jim McGillivray and this is the Pipe Box, your source for all things piping. If you like this video, please give it a like and please subscribe to this YouTube channel to see more videos like this. We're going to go over some music today, and you can print this music out by going back to the description of this video on my YouTube channel. You'll see a link to a PDF there. Today I want to talk about 6/8 marches as they are played in pipe bands. 6/8 marches are a slightly more challenging idiom than 2/4s, 3/4s, and 4/4s. There's more pointing involved, and there's a completely different rhythm altogether. And beginner pipers often have trouble with this rhythm. Drummers also have trouble with this rhythm. And when I hear pipe bands that aren't capturing the 6/8 rhythm well, I usually put the blame on the drum corps. I've heard innumerable drum corps playing 6/8s in 2/4 and 4/4 time, totally unaware that they're not capturing that 6/8 rhythm at all. Today we are going to be visited by an expert snare drummer. We're going to go over the principles of playing 6/8 marches for drummers, and we're going to look at a few technical excerpts, things you need to watch as you're trying to play in the 6/8 idiom. So this video is more for drummers than it is for pipers, although I think the pipers have something to learn from this as well. That 6/8 rhythm, what exactly is that rhythm? Let's talk about that for a moment. If I clap 4/4 time, I get 4 beats in a bar. Ho dum bum bro he ha da 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 dee dee. If I double time that, I get 8 beats in a bar. Ho do da bro he ha ba da dee dee. So when I subdivide those beats, those 4 beats into 2 beats, that's what we call double timing. Now I'm going to clap out a 6/8 march. We'll clap out Athol Highlanders. Da da dee da 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 dee da dum bo ba da dee da dum bo ba da da ba dum dee dum dee dum bo ba da. That is a very, very different rhythm from the 4/4 or 2/4 rhythm. So in 6/8 marches in a bar, we have 2 main beats. Each of those beats is subdivided into 3 eighth notes, mini beats. Eighth notes are 6 eighth notes in a bar, thus 6/8 time. We always have to have those 6 eighth notes going on in the back of our musical mind, even when our feet are tapping twice in each bar. Da-da, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you'll notice the big pause after beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6/8 rhythm, and that's what we try to capture in our tunes, and that's what we want to capture in our drum scores. So let's have a chat with our snare drummer and explore a couple of 6/8s. I would like to welcome Mr. Brian McCue to the Pipetunes set. Brian and I have worked together for more than 25 years teaching piping and drumming to students here at St. Andrews College. Brian has also run a Grade 2 North American Championship drum corps, and he comes to us with a master's degree in music, with his area of study being percussion, which is perfect for us. Brian and I are going to go over 2 6/8 scores, both played to the pipe tune Steamboat. The first score we do will be a very easy beginner level score. The second score will be a grade 3 level score. Then we're going to go through in some detail to tell you how to ensure that you're playing these scores in 6/8 time, which tends to be a problem in some pipe bands. So, welcome, Brian, to the Pipetunes set.
Thanks so much, Jim.
I've been perhaps remiss in blaming drummers for some of the problems we have in 6/8. Can you tell me if I'm on the right track, or are the pipers to blame as well?
Well, in order to be fair, I think maybe it's a bit of both, but we'll see. But certainly the drummers set the rhythm, and if they're not leading the charge in rhythm, well, they're kind of failing their primary role. So there's certainly some things that we can talk about, absolutely.
Okay, so what is the major thing that drummers have problems with in playing 6/8 marches?
I think, in my eyes, it comes down to two things, and this is what I look for. And one is the rhythmic precision of the 6/8. I think it's really important to be really clear that there is a difference between a 6/8 and a 2/4 march. And even though they do share, this is the second point, is the metric accent, and that's as well very, very important. So when you put those two together, if you get rhythmic precision and a good metric accent, you've got a 6/8 that swings like nothing else.
Yes.
So I can go through and we can talk a little bit about some of the things here.
Let's go through some of the specifics here.
Yeah, so right out the gate, we'll use the 6/8 mass band cadence, and it's a perfect example of where to start as far as looking for your drum corps and listening to what's going on. So the very first bar, for example, we've got the rhythm is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I often, even when I'm working with the drum corps, I'll take out the rolls and rudiments and just play rhythm to make sure that every drummer understands the fundamental rhythm of the score, whether it's simple or complex. But here's a prime example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you put your flams and rolls, so you hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And a lot of drum corps, again, young and more advanced corps, will play. We get sloppy. Really, it is sloppiness. And that's really a 2/4 beating. 1 and 2 and 1. So it's the wrong feel for a 6/8, and you immediately lose your swing.
That's what I find when I hear a pipe band not playing 6/8s well, is they're playing 2/4 time instead of 6/8 time. To me, that's the biggest problem.
Absolutely. It even goes now into the second measure of that same score. So line 1, measure 2. Now we get those little 6/8 skip beats, we call it in drumming, or the dot and cut, as we say. And then, so what happens is we get sloppy with that, and it becomes, instead of ta 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 ta, it becomes ta pa dum pa pa dum. 1 E and 2 E and. Again, that's a 2/4 interpretation. It's not a 6/8. So ta pa da 1 2 and 3 4 5 6 1 2 and 3 4. And so that's really important. And then you get into the other side, which then they play the skip beats too loudly, and again that interrupts the flow of that rhythm. So we want to have ha dum hum ba dum bum ba dum bum. See the little ta-dum or nice skip beats, and that has to be in time with the melody. And again, we start hearing hum ba dum hum ba dum hum ba dum, and so it's circles and squares.
So where I see that applying to the pipe tune in the tune Steamboat, we want to hold those 3 long notes and not go. So that first beat needs to be lengthened out.
Exactly. And so the trick for the drummers to make that work is, don't think of the skip beat as attached to beat 1, but think of it as ta 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 ta. It's attached to beat 3 or beat 6, depending on where it is in the bar. So 1 2 3 ta ha dum ba. So you can kind of lengthen with the pipers that first those notes, as you say, hi ha dum hi. So think of lifting those, D, ha-dum, B, ha-dum. But the skip beat is attached to the 3rd or the 6th. And that'll keep that rhythm nice and tight.
Can we demonstrate a few bars of Steamboat played incorrectly?
We'll try, yeah.
We'll try, okay. I'll play the intro bars.
Okay, yeah.
We'll just play a few bars. for me to play with you, I had to play very, very round.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was no 6/8 pointing at all.
It loses all the feel. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, why don't we play this tune with the drum score for the folks?
Okay.
Okay? That was our simple 6/8 drum score played to the pipe tune Steamboat. Brian, you had mentioned the term metric accent a few minutes ago. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how it applies to 6/8?
For sure, yes, absolutely. So the metric accent is the natural pulse of the music. And all the music has a natural pulse. So we think about, for example, Scotland the Brave, hum, bum, ba-dee, da, 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 strong, weak, medium, weak, strong, weak, medium, weak. The 6/8 have a lilting dee, da, dum, ba, dum, ba-dee, dee, strong, weak, strong, weak. Now, the thing about that is that the 2/4 also shares that. They're cousins, the 6/8 and the 2/4, through the metric accent. But again, the big difference is the subdivision. The 6/8 is subdivided in 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, da, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum. But it's always strong, weak. And this is most important for the bass drummers to play. Again, this can really change the whole feel of the pipe band. If the bass drummer is playing a strong metric accent, dee da dee da, strong and weak and strong and weak and strong and weak. That's the foundation right there. But the snare drummers shouldn't ignore it. They need to be playing it as well. So here's, back to our mass band cadence. Often the drum corps will play. Here all the beats are even. Da ta da da. Da, da. It's very, driving, but really we want hum dum okay, and when you put that with your bass drummer and perhaps your tenor section as well doing things, then you can really get a pronounced metric accent, and that adds to that flow. Absolutely.
Very good. And I just want to go over once again, be very clear about what you see the bass drummer doing while the band is playing this.
I think for simple drum scores, I think whether you're playing, in the society cadence, it just has basic beats. So in that score, the bass rhythm is dee da dum ba dum ba da, rest dee da dee da. But here I'm giving a bit of pulse in there. So strong and weak, strong and rest, strong and weak. Or if you have a bit more complex bass rhythm, you might put that skip beat in. Dee da dee da, hum ba da dee, hum ba dee dee da da. So you still got that strong and weak and strong and weak. And that's really what's important, is that downbeat is getting the pulse in there.
Very good. Very good. So that's our simple score. We have a slightly more challenging score here that we'd like you to go through and give us an idea what the more advanced players need to watch for in playing 6/8.
Yeah, in the more advanced score, there's a couple of things I just want to point out, because it gets a bit technical, but I think it's really worthwhile. So in the more advanced score that we had, the first bar introduces, it's a plop, and that triplet flam, what often happens is the triplet gets crushed and suddenly it becomes tuck-a-da-da, tutter-da-da, but it's not, it's ta-da-da-da. So your flam, beat 6, has to truly be on beat 6. ta, da, 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 pa, dee, da, da. So ends up being, this is where it gets technical. Tap, biz, ta, 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 pop is really on ta, ta, ta as beat 4 and 5. So it's a 3 against 2. It's a bit of a polyrhythm. But that's the technical. The reality is, just think, open that triplet so that the flam on that last beat is truly on beat 6, because it's going to have to end with the pipe tune, right? Dee, da, da, da. That flam's got to be on beat 6. And it's very easy to go, and suddenly that flam's ahead of beat 6. It's ahead of the melody. So they're not together. So as long as you think about opening it up wide, ghost it nice and low so it's not too loud or too evasive. But and the other thing too is don't rush the roll. Okay, so you hum. So there's a lot more intricacy in there. So that first bar is even just one bar, and then but that figure comes up in all the drum scores. And then the other one I just want to point out again, the same idea in the third part, measure 2, ta adjudicator da. We hear that a lot, and it's very easy to think about it in 2/4, da adjudicator da, da adjudicator da. But really, remember it's dee da da. So that kick of the kick 5 is on the skip beat. Da, 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 da. So you have to hold that first note like the pipe melody does. Those are the two big things.
Very good. Okay, let's have a listen to Brian and I playing this slightly more difficult score to Steamboat. That was Brian McCue and I playing the tune Steamboat to a slightly more challenging drum score. Pipers, you also need to watch your 6/8 playing. I've noticed here at school, when we're teaching the young boys how to play 6/8s, they've often had several 4/4s, 2/4s, 3/4s under their belts, and their immediate response to a 6/8 is to play it in 4/4 time. I have several videos on this channel on how to play 6/8s, and I suggest if you're not sure whether you have the idiom down right, you have a look at 1 or 2 of those videos. I'd like to thank Brian McCue for his help today. Brian.
Thanks, Jim.
And from me, Jim McGillivray, and Brian McCue here at the Pipe Box, good piping.